Alright, hello, we're hopping into the stream. Let me just share up the stream real quick on Twitter, on YouTube, not on YouTube, on Discord. Give me 1 second. Alright, cool. It's showing up. There we go. Alright, cool. Alright. I need to get a higher quality mic, I think. My mic quality is not that great, but it is whatever, it'll do. That's what I get for getting the blue snowball, right? But, yeah. I should be getting some stuff to help soon, so help with the audio quality, because there's like, it sounds like a fan in the background or something that it's picking up, but I don't know, I might have to just move my PC, maybe it's picking up my PC. Who knows, but we're doing viewer reacts today and call-in, so we're gonna have fun doing that. We're gonna start out with reacting, obviously, and then we'll move into doing call-ins. So yeah, we're gonna have a fun time. Just give me 1 second. I gotta pull YouTube again. I accidentally closed it. And then we'll hop into the first video someone suggested. Yo, what's up, Rourke? How's it going? Hope everything's doing alright. We're gonna watch a no BS video, which is the first one someone suggested. So yeah, we're gonna put ourselves through that first, sadly, but you know, it happens.
To no bullshit.
And alright. Okay, cool. There. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna have to experience, sadly, the first video that we're gonna be watching is gonna be a no bullshit video. Sorry to put you through that already. Hopefully you don't bleach your eyes during this, because that would be very bad, because I don't know how you're gonna watch the rest of the stream, but it happens. So if you do, I understand, but I don't advocate you do. Let's put it on 1.5 for now.
Hello and welcome back to No Bullshit. Today we return to talking about those awful events happening currently in Minneapolis, Minnesota. The last few nights now have seen lots of chaos in the streets there. Things are on fire, people are stealing stuff. It's been all out a monstrosity, really. It's really sad, it really sucks. And actually the problem...
I like how he says people are stealing stuff. Like, I hate when people, like, I don't know, like conservatives are like, oh no, they're stealing, but like, and that ruins like the entirety of the protest, but they don't care about the cops stealing lives at all. They'll be fine with just getting back to their bootlicking, but you know, it's whatever. Can you react to my vid as a result of having watched this? Lodge, I cannot do that. That is TOS, but yeah. Cracker says, watch a Mr. Obvious video. I don't know who Mr. Obvious is, but Cracker, if you suggest a video on my Discord server, link it and I will watch it. I can't watch this for more than a second. Well, I don't want to either. But yeah, all these conservatives are always like, they're stealing. That makes the whole protest bad. But they're fine with when the cops steal lives. They're fine with civil asset forfeiture or whatever it's called. They're fine with all that, and it won't make them hate the cops. They'll still be fine with the cops either way. Oh God, not Mr. Obvious. I don't even know who Mr. Obvious is. But if you link a video in the Discord, my Discord, first link in the description, I'll watch it. If you link it in suggestions. Yeah. Also, obviously, these conservatives don't care about wage theft. But yeah, that's a different conversation. We don't have to talk about that because that's not really the point in this video.
The problem is, there are a lot of people defending this violence, this chaos, these people destroying stores and breaking windows and stealing stuff. And today we're going to talk about that again. This time we're talking about...
Well, if you really don't like that violence and all of that, then first of all, you should condemn the violence of the cops. And then also, you should condemn the systemic issues in which they give rise to those violence or those riots or protests or whatever. If you really don't like them, you need to address that. Can't wait till No BS gets banned. Why would No BS get banned? I don't know. Can I suggest a video? I might also have to... Okay, if we watch that, these kinds of videos. Yeah, you can link it in the Discord. That's whataboutism. Are you talking about the wage theft stuff? Yeah, I know. That's why I'm not bringing up the wage theft stuff. It's irrelevant to this.
Specifically, a couple of very popular YouTubers who are defending these bad things that are happening in Minneapolis. And also, by the way, this is happening across the country. There's been lots of very bad demonstrations gone wrong in other cities, Washington, D.C., Los Angeles, Memphis, you name it. A lot of big places are having chaotic gatherings of people going out and destroying public property.
Okay, first of all, usually they're only chaotic because of the police's response to the protest, right? If the police start tear gassing and they start shooting rubber bullets at the protest, then you have a riot. Then it turns violent. Usually it doesn't start the other way around. So yeah, also typically, I don't know if this is specifically happening in these riots, but previous riots throughout history, companies would actually pay people like $600 or whatever to burn down their businesses for them because they actually have more money, I forget what it's called specifically, but they have the house or the business insured for more than it's actually worth, so they make back more money that way, right? And all they have to do is pay someone to burn it down.
And that just on its face sounds really dumb, and why would that be a good thing? But there's some people that are trying to virtue signal and show that they're cool with the liberals who are causing this. And two of them that are coming to mind today, specifically one is Markiplier. He's a video game YouTuber.
Wait, also, I don't think, hold on, I haven't seen Markiplier or Jacksepticeye's tweets, but just because you tweet out like support for the protest doesn't mean that you're encouraging violence or whatever. But okay.
As is our second example, Jacksepticeye. Both of these guys have massive YouTube channels, giant followings, and they're really sending out bad messages to everyone saying that this violence and chaos is okay, basically. They're defending it. They're trying to justify it by claiming it's because of racism or because of a certain bad case when a cop arrested a person and they died. They're blaming it on all kinds of stuff, and the problem is this is chaos, and we shouldn't be kind of supporting this kind of breaking of the law. But these YouTubers are...
Well, these protests are rising, right? So what No BS is trying to do here is conflate the protest with the rioting, which are already separate. But the protests are rising due to injustice and breaking the law, right? Like whatever that cop's name was murder. And originally he wasn't charged with it. That's mostly why people were protesting, because those 4 cops weren't charged with anything. Of course, now they are, which is obviously good, but... yeah, I mean, obviously now people are more so rioting or protesting because of the systemic injustices that the criminal justice system / policing has on black people or people of color in general.
We're going to talk about it more soon. We're going to go over their video and a tweet that shows that they're really kind of playing defense for these criminals out in the streets causing chaos. We're going to get to all that soon, but first, let's just take a quick moment to check out our sponsor. Guys, today I'm...
Okay. Chris Gillian says it's definitely possible to morally justify. Yeah, I mean, it is. And definitely if you really, if you're like, no, the riots, they're morally unjustifiable, well then, sure, you can have that stance. That's perfectly fine. But then you need to actually address the systemic issues that cause those riots to arise. You can't have your cake and eat it too. I don't know if that's the right analogy or metaphor or whatever, but whatever. You get what I'm saying.
I'm really excited to offer you these amazing freedom masks. Everyone has to wear masks in a lot of places now, especially in the states that have been hit harder by this crap.
I need to skip this. When does this end?
Offer only for the No BS crowd like you guys today, and you could get up to 60% off if you use the link below this video. That's going to be exciting, but for now, let's return to talking about Markiplier and Jacksepticeye. This is the video Markiplier put out a couple days ago. First things first, though, I want to say I don't really have anything against these YouTubers, Markiplier here, Jacksepticeye later. I mean, I don't really know much about them. I know they're big channels. I haven't watched their videos. I do know a little bit just from being on YouTube for a long time. First of all, they're gaming YouTubers. That's pretty obvious. They just kind of watch video games and do funny voices. That's essentially the content you can expect for them. So right out the gate, before we even get to their cringy posts, it's not really in their character.
Okay, cringy post, by the way. That's funny coming from No BS.
They're in their kind of fit for their brand to comment on these social issues, especially very, very serious, violent ones where people are losing their houses, their lives. This is a big, serious issue for sure. And I think people need to be super careful and calm and understand they might not know exactly what's going on. Specifically, these guys are millionaires who live in ivory towers, don't really know how the real world works.
Okay, buddy. I mean, even if you don't, even if you're rich, you can still have an opinion on the riots. I don't know why, I don't get how these two, it sounds like a non sequitur, you're rich, so that means you can't have an opinion on the riots, but okay. I mean, by that logic, probably No BS probably shouldn't have an opinion either, because, I mean, he's got 700,000 subs, so He's probably
Or
making
they've
a
been
good
given millions
bit.
of dollars by YouTube to play video games. I mean, do you really think they're equipped to be introspective about this kind of issue? I don't think so. And I'm not trying to claim any kind of superiority, but at least here we talk about this stuff all the time already. That's why you guys came to the show. That's why we're in this community. We're talking about these issues already. So whenever a gamer like these guys does a different topic,
It's quite funny, actually. These gamers that you're shitting on for straying away from their brand are kind of more so right on the money than you are when you actually are saying that you do this for a living. Like, I don't know an actual good take I've gotten from No BS, but
it's kind of strange, and it's also a kind of political move because they're kind of influencing these 25 or so million people. They each have 25 million subscribers, and they're influencing them. They're young kids, and they're telling them that these riots are okay, and that's really messed up. Like, that's the hardest part here to take.
Today I'm going
I really need to see what Markiplier and Jacksepticeye say, but I almost guarantee they aren't supporting the riots. Like, almost 1,000%.
to be talking about a very serious subject that you probably already know about. A few days ago, a man by the name of George Floyd was murdered by a police officer while he was placed under arrest. The circumstances of his arrest are irrelevant. A man is dead. And
Okay, I want to go ahead and pause right there. No one is defending this death. Everyone says it's a bad thing, including myself repeatedly. We're all behind that. We think the cop that killed this
Lodge says this is bigotry against gamers in action. Yeah, true. Cancel no bullshit. This is what it should get no bullshit canceled. Is his gamer phobia. Fucking asshole. But also, I already know what No BS is gonna say because he said part of it. He's like, we're not defending the death of George Floyd. We aren't defending the protests because the protests are bad. It's like, well, the protests are condemning the murder of George Floyd, so that doesn't really make much sense.
This guy should be punished. But the idea that the circumstances don't matter, I don't know if that's really true. I mean, do we know what the guy getting arrested did? Like, he could have just went and killed a bunch of people. He could have set fire on, a group of babies in a hospital. Like,
that doesn't get rid of due process as long as... Okay, so if George Floyd was no longer a threat, which we saw in the video, which he was in handcuffs, right? Just because he did all those bad things you said, which yes, they are horrible, it doesn't mean that you get rid of due process. That's not how that works.
We don't know. So their circumstances definitely matter. I mean, the first thing I would say is he probably, I'm not sure what the arrest was for, but he was likely getting arrested for a reason. I don't know if they just got to...
Counterfeit. It was counterfeit that he didn't even know, or at least it was assumed that he didn't know. And they thought the $20 bill was counterfeit, so he got arrested for that. There was no instance or no evidence of him resisting arrest or anything else. And even if he did resist arrest, he was handcuffed already. You could have thrown him in the back of the police car. You could have just left him handcuffed. There was no need for a knee on the back of his neck. Not whatsoever. No BS is not against the death of George Floyd. I guarantee he's gloating about it in his personal Discord server right now. Probably. I mean, he's essentially defending it right here. It's like, well, we don't know what George Floyd did. We didn't know blah 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 blah. It's like, well, it is irrelevant, right? He was handcuffed. He was detained in the video. There was no need for that sort of force.
Nothing. I don't even know the details. That's the thing, and that's the problem with this story. We don't know a lot of what happened. All we know is this guy arrested a guy, and he did it too violently, and he ended up dying. That's definitely bad, and that's enough to really kind of get the story going. But the fact that they assume oh, it doesn't matter what he did, and then on top of that, what you're going to see is they're going to assume racism, which is what everyone's been doing, and we still have no proof of that. No one knows.
Oh shit! How the fuck are we supposed to prove a racism, guys? Fuck, I don't know. How the shit? We don't even know if it was racist. Are we supposed to wait for the police to come forward and be like, yes, I did this because I'm racist? Is that what you're supposed to wait for? I don't know. That's not how that works. But also, the police officer has a history. He got 12 reports or something about I forget what specifically. He got 12 reports about doing some fucked up stuff. There's definitely some shit that he's done before too against different racial minorities. If you actually look into the guy's record, I don't remember them all off the top of my head, but I read it.
If anything was racist here at all, I mean, I haven't heard anything. I don't see any evidence. I don't see any proof, video, quotes. Whatever it may be, a report, a witness, something has to prove it was racist. But these guys, the problem here is these guys think it's just proven racist because the cop is white and the victim was black. Like, that's racism to them. But that's really not how it is, because I mean, if you flip,
I'm no BS. If a white police officer kills a black man, that's not racist. Yeah, no one's just saying that's racist, right? We're saying that it's kind of weird that a white police officer with several reports in the past about being really shitty and like potentially racially profiling or just being shitty to other minorities in general, put his knee on a black man's neck who was already handcuffed, and he only potentially knowingly performed counterfeit with a $20 bill. But yeah, I guess.
If the cop was black and the guy was white, would that be racist? I don't think they would say that. And I don't...
Well, I would assume not, probably because of the systemic power that, the way in which the police works as a system. There's predominantly more white people. But, I mean, there could be a case where it is that situation, but, I mean, yeah, it seems unlikely.
I don't think any other color combination would assume racism and make it automatic. So, with that said, I think you're going to see how this whole premise and this whole video is just bunk right from Jump Street.
And this sort of situation disproportionately affects a certain percentage of the population. George Floyd was an African-American man, and there's a long storied history of African-American men and women being murdered or abused while being placed under arrest.
Whoa, that is a bold claim, sir. I'm not sure you have any proof of that. I don't think that's something...
I bet sure you have any proof of that other than this George Floyd video that we're talking about.
That's true in recent history, at least. Like maybe in some other country or 100 years ago, there was cops out there murdering people. But I highly doubt that's been happening, because this actual case proves it's not true. Because, of course, this was the guy died. But we got to admit one thing. The thing you got to recognize is this seems to be an accident. I'm not saying the guy did the right thing. He shouldn't have arrested him in the wrong way.
Okay. That's a very bold claim if we're going to be talking about bold claims. I don't know how much of an accident it is that someone died when you had them handcuffed and you put a knee to the back of their neck for 8 minutes, in 3 of which he was unconscious and not talking, right? I feel like you would notice for the first 5 minutes he's kind of like, yo, get the fuck off me, get your knee off my neck. And then 3 minutes he's just not saying anything, just kind of being quiet. Head face in the ground. I don't know. Seems a little sus.
In this violent way, but it wasn't unintentional.
Also, you have to take into account that police officer's record of being really shitty to minorities.
Intentional murder and kill. I mean, I think he's going to get tried for 3rd-degree murder, which is still a killing. It's still really bad, but it's not like he just went and wanted to kill him. Like he
3rd-degree murder, isn't that essentially isn't 3rd-degree murder manslaughter? 3rd-degree murder is fucking manslaughter. There's right. There's no way. I think that 1st-degree murder is what the guy should get, but the thing is, it's impossible to prove. Like 1st-degree murder, it's like 1st-degree murder means that it was pre-planned, right? That he went there with the intention to kill George Floyd, and the entire way through with it, he had that intention. That is like literally impossible to prove that. So it's probably more likely that the guy would get 2nd-degree murder. He deserves 1st-degree though, probably. Yeah, I heard that the charges got bumped up to 2nd-degree. They started at 3rd-degree, which is manslaughter, I believe, right? Which is not the case.
Could have done that in many other ways. He could have, just broke his neck, stabbed him, shot him. Like there's 100 ways he could have just straight up tried to kill him. So the way that it happened, I think, was he got killed incidentally. Like he was trying to hurt him, but then.
So. Did he? Hold on. Let's go back.
Done that in many other ways. He could have, just broke his neck.
A police officer breaking his neck. Okay, I don't. Okay. That would be very weird for a police officer to do that. Like, I mean, just because he did, like, he probably wouldn't want it to be very obvious that he wanted to murder the guy. So I don't know why he would break his neck. Also, there was like bystanders, so. Yeah.
Stabbed him.
I don't think police carry knives, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Also, that would be very weird for a cop to like just stab someone. Like, there's no plausible deniability at that point when he just straight out does that, especially with witnesses. So I don't know why he would ever do that, even if he had the intention to do like murder the guy the whole time. He's probably not stupid. So.
Shot him. Like there's 100 ways you could have just straight up tried to kill him.
Shot him. Same arguments from before.
So the way that it happened, I think, was he got killed incidentally. Like he was trying to hurt him, but then the kill came later, and that's why sometimes it's called manslaughter. But he's still getting charged for murder. Regardless, you can't say cops have a history of murdering African Americans. I mean, if that happened, we would see it on the news every day. Like, this incident is on the news. Everyone's talking about it.
We do. It happens a lot. And it's not always murder. It's just mistreatment most of the time. But there's a good case of murder too.
About it. When was the last time this happened? You know, when, like, I know there's been a lot of other cases the left tries to race bait, but most of those turn out to be a bad example. It turns out to be the victim was actually starting the violence or starting the problem. And that's
No, it isn't. It's like a lot of the times it's like they're selling loose cigarettes or something. Like, isn't that Trayvon Martin? Isn't that the loose cigarettes example? I don't know. There's a lot, and most of the time they don't start the violence, and even if they do, it's definitely not proportional to being killed. So, yeah.
That's why with this case they finally had a proper example of abuse, and that's why it went so crazy, because they had already been race baiting the public for years. And unfortunately, this guy Markiplier, he seems to be successful. He does really well online, but it doesn't make him smart and knowledgeable about these kinds of intricate, nuanced police social issues.
This has resulted in numerous demonstrations, protests, and riots that have occurred across the country and centralized in Minneapolis. And I hate the term I think. The last thing I want to do is to try to inject my opinion into a situation that neither deserves it or needs it.
But, you know, he says he doesn't want to inject his opinion, but he's going to do it. And he's very happy to kind of capitalize on this situation and make a political video out of nowhere in light of this controversy. And the one thing I wanted to note here before we get to his...
I mean, he's probably doing this for a fundraiser or something. Like, I doubt Markiplier just came out and did this for a video. He's probably, like, linking funds. I don't know for sure, but also you're literally doing the same thing. You're doing this to capitalize on the situation. So, I mean...
Thoughts?
Any argument you make against Markiplier is applicable to you.
He actually kind of tries to play this off like, oh, he doesn't monetize the video. He's trying to act like this is like a public service announcement. He's not making money off of it. I highly doubt that. Okay.
Okay, if he didn't monetize the video, then there you go. He's just trying to get people aware about the issue.
Pretty sure in a lot of ways, like, even if it's on the fringes, he's making money off of this video. It has millions of views. It's having many likes and comments. It's giving his website and his YouTube page new subscribers. They're getting recommended other videos. You know, there's
okay. That's not the same thing as having that video monetized, but I guess you don't understand that
from this. So for him to say, "Oh, it's not monetized," and this is just like him, some kind of public service announcement, it's disingenuous. He's capitalizing.
Also, like, a lot of gamer bros are super edgy, so he's probably losing subs rather than gaining subs. I don't know for sure, but that's definitely a possibility when you're talking about gamer bros. No BS is a literal Nazi. Of course, he's not going to concede that there is a history of police mistreating minorities. No BS is okay. He's too scared to debate Vosh. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. But yeah, from what I've heard, the police force originated as, like, slave patrol. But I'm not too read up on that. But obviously, if you're gonna say that there's not a history of mistreatments, that would be pretty silly if that's the case. I'm not very educated about that, but that's what I've heard. So,
in putting his opinion on something that he knows very little about. I mean, the guy just said cops are out there killing black people willy-nilly. I mean, that's just not happening. This case proves that it's not happening a lot, because otherwise we would have these riots all the time.
But I think that this is a very...
No, that's not how that works. We have the riots now because this was a very clear-cut case that got publicized very quickly. Yeah, I mean, people have had enough too. It's just time, I guess. I don't know.
Human reaction to systemic injustice and racism that has been pervading our country for the past 50, 100, 200 years.
So now he's kind of time traveling. He's bringing up systemic racism, basically a made-up term, doesn't really mean anything.
That's not true. Okay, it was systemic racism. Doesn't actually mean anything. Okay. I guess it doesn't mean that there's systems and ways in which people are disproportionately disadvantaged by those systems, but yeah, I guess that's made up.
This kind of claim that everything in the government is racist from the top down,
It's not that everything in the government is racist top down, it's just that there's certain things that advantage certain people over others. It's pretty simple to understand.
Whole system is racist. It's not. I mean, there's no laws against certain races. There's no, oh, this race can't do this race can't do that, this person can't hold office. Like, there's none of that. It's just...
Okay, oh my god. Like, I don't think... Okay, here, I'll explain systemic racism in a minute. Pump, you're heading to a local march, have fun. Sleep, imagine hypocrisy is all they have to argue against. Yeah, I don't know. It's annoying. But yeah, so systemic racism, they're like, what No BS is trying to conflate it to is, well, no one's just blatantly racist. It's not like you can't get this job because you're this race. It's like, well, yeah, sure. But that doesn't mean that there's things like property tax-based education in which certain communities are advantaged over others, right? So what property tax-based education does is it means that your school district is funded via like the property taxes of the people living in that district, right? So that means richer people are going to have better funding and in turn better education. Since we know that black people are disproportionately more so in poverty, that means that their school district is going to get in turn less funding because they're going to be paying less property taxes, which means they get worse education. If you get worse education, that means that it's less likely that you get a good job. If you don't get a good job, then you don't get more money, and then you're in a cycle of poverty where it's like for generations, because if you can't get good jobs, then it's unlikely that your kids are going to be able to get good jobs because they fall into that same line where they get that bad education because they're living in a poor neighborhood. So that is systemic racism. There doesn't have to be any intent behind it, although there used to be, because the way in which our communities were formed was due to redlining, keeping more black people in poor neighborhoods. Those businesses in those neighborhoods wouldn't get loans, etc., etc. It used to be intentional. Now it's not necessarily, but it's irrelevant. That's systemic racism. No BS doesn't understand that because it's no BS. So
a BS term that leftists use to try to say everything's racist, and it makes it sound smarter. And then in addition to that, the reason he wants to say 50 years, 100 years, 200 years ago, that's the best way for liberals to get back to actual racism. You know, like I said.
Well, no, because those, okay, so the material conditions of 200 years ago influenced the material conditions of today, right? You have slavery, where black people couldn't get any capital or own any means of productions or anything. They couldn't accumulate, whatever, right? So then when you end slavery, they're already at a disadvantage, right? Because everybody already has that stuff, so they're going to have to try and get that, and that's going to be really hard, right? And then on top of that, you have racist bastards, right, where there's like segregation, where you're keeping black people already in like poor communities via like redlining, and you're already making them have like worse curriculum, etc., etc. And then you have things today that are colorblind and don't like address that, like poverty tax-based education, which I already brought up, which reinforces those material conditions from previously, or at least the fruits of them, so whatever.
This is what's really important is we're talking about the last 10, 20, 30 years. Those are what's relevant. I'm not trying to hide that. Like, no one's denying there was racism in the past, and I'm not trying to cover that up either, but these guys are overhyping it, and they try to like harp back to something like, say, slavery or some bad racist group from 100 years ago, and they're trying to connect that to now.
I already connected it, but okay, no BS. If you can't understand the connection, then that's okay. Zoomer Nation says, yo, base. Yo, what's up, Zoomer Nation? How's it going? I love you, and I love everyone in the chat for coming in. Thank you all.
Not really related at all. In the reality, in the present, what matters is the last 20, 40 years, racism has basically gone off. It's not really there anymore, except for one little exception.
The last 40 to 20 years, racism has been non-existent. Obama passed the No Racism Act in 1997, and it just hasn't came back since.
And this is what they're not going to like. Really, what's popping up now is anti-white racism. This is actually a form of that, because in a lot...
Anti-white racism, okay, buddy. Sure, there's such thing as like being racist against white people, but that's different than systemic racism, which is like I don't see it possible in the foreseeable future. It's just that white people have benefited immensely compared to all the other groups because they subjugated all the other groups below them. So yeah, I mean, well, it can be like socially like racism against white people, like, hey, screw that guy, he's a cracker. I mean, it doesn't really mean much because there's not the systemic racism behind it.
A lot of ways, what Markiplier's saying is that white people are racist. He's saying America's racist. He's saying our country...
Wait, no, Markiplier's not saying that. He's just saying, yo, the way in which we do policing, it's kind of messed up. In this instance of this police officer really murdering George Floyd, yeah, that proves that the policing system's kind of fucked up.
Racist. So that's just a way to demean the majority. They're going after good, innocent Americans. We didn't do anything wrong. They're just saying we're all racist because they're trying to have some messed up way to defend what they think are minorities, what they think are these innocent people. They're trying to protect them and pander to them. And that's what Markiplier is doing too. He's pandering.
This is a problem that is deeply rooted.
He's not pandering. He's raising awareness of this. If anything, you're pandering to white people because you're like, oh, we're under attack because they're trying to make other people equal as us. We're well, God.
Communities.
Like, if you're really getting that mad about that, like, you should probably, like, calm down, buddy. It's really not that big of a deal. They're just asking for equality. I know that makes you mad. I know that you're probably racist, but I don't have any evidence for that claim, so I'm going to say probably, buddy, because I know that making certain statements make you mad, but
and in these systems that are supposed to help our fellow man. And it is a problem that needs to be rooted out at every turn. And it's always been a big point of mine to try to use my platform responsibly.
Right. Yeah. He's getting a little high and mighty. You could tell.
Sippo says, I'm curious what this guy works as. Probably another 18-year-old socialist. I actually fuck your mom for a living. I'm not kidding. Like, your mom pays me to fuck her for a living. On God, but also an 18-year-old socialist as well. Yeah. And your dad. Don't forget your dad. Your dad also pays me to fuck him.
Well, he's very self-important. He's talking like in this dramatic way. He's like, America has systemic racism, and 200 years, the systems haven't helped the people they should. I mean, he's acting like he's writing some kind of dramatic documentary that's trying to, sway people into hating whites, essentially is what this is going after. And they're, in a way, they're trying to think they're virtuous. This is a virtue signal as well, like trying to say, hey, look at me. I love black people like you. Everyone should like me. I'm a liberal. I'm with the majority. I'm with the whole, mainstream media, social media. Like, I'm going along with that. They're towing the line, and it's really not brave if you think about it. I mean, you're just going along with the mainstream. You're going the safe route. This is what everyone wants you to say. This is what the websites want you to say, what the news or agencies, what the liberals, like the Hollywood people. He's just going along with that.
He's just spewing out a bunch of nonsense with no facts or anything to back it up. This is what the new media wants you to say. This is what the liberals. This is what Hollywood wants you to say. Like, this is borderline JQ fucking propaganda. Like, you're one step away. You're like, oh wow, I wonder who's in charge of this. Like, he's literally fueling that shit. Like, this is just incoherency.
To a T perfectly, and that's why it's just so hard to watch, and it's so cringy because they're totally missing the point of all this issue. And in a way, like I said in the beginning in the title of this video, they're defending these riots, they're defending criminals, they're defending people that committed crimes, broke stuff, stole stuff, burnt things, just kind of destroyed their city, destroyed Minneapolis. Other cities are getting destroyed, property, police cars are getting knocked out for no reason. I mean, there's no proof to this actually being racism. Back to the original case, we don't have any proof of racism.
Okay, either way, even if it's not racist, the protests are also just generally about police brutality. So even if it's not racist, which it really seems suspicious because the police officer has a really bad history of how they treat minorities, and this is a clear-cut example of that, a knee to someone's the back of their neck when they're handcuffed for 8 minutes. It's still also protesting police brutality, which is very clear by the video that what he did was obviously stepping over the line.
We don't have any proof that cops are out there murdering black people randomly, and that's just why it's just so insane to see someone who is that successful. He has millions of subscribers. He's a super rich millionaire, but he could be so wrong about something. That's kind of interesting.
To use my platform to steer people in the direction that I feel is right. In this case, there is very little gray area to debate about. A man is dead.
Yeah.
As a result of police brutality. And there was no justice.
See, exactly, he's not making this about race or anything. He just said that it's a result of police brutality, bro. Okay, I can't watch the rest of this video. No bullshit is very toxic. Hold on. I can't watch the rest of this. Okay, we're gonna watch this racist cows video that Sleeps in. I don't know what it's about, but apparently I'm supposed to shit on this. That's loud.
We know you're a socially conscious vegan who doesn't like the idea of eating animals. But what if we told you some cows are racist? Here at Canceled Cattle Ranch, we only...
Some cows are racist. I don't think that the vegans are not eating cows because of the cows. Like, they think the cows are nice people. I don't think that's why.
Ill bigoted bovine who can't be rehabilitated. Each and every one of our cows has tweeted something racially insensitive in the past. And sometimes you just can't teach an old cow new tricks. After a sensitivity
I don't even get this what the message of this is supposed to be. Either some cows are racist, but they're like, I don't get this.
One of our intersectional specialists determines which of our cows are woke and which ones should be set aside for slaughter.
Are they trying to say this is what happens? Is that racist people are canceled while woke people aren't? It sounds like this is pretty easily avoidable. I guess don't be racist.
I'm usually vegan, but some cows deserve to die. That's why I eat cancelled cattle.
That's right. Each
Is this supposed to be funny?
and every animal we slaughter hates black people.
How do we know that cow put that hat on itself? Why are you always defending racists?
Like, I don't even... What's the analogy of this supposed to be? He asked, how do we know if the cat put that on himself? And this guy says, why are you always defending racist? How do you apply this to real life? Like, what? Like, if someone's wearing a MAGA hat in real life, are you, like... and he asked... I don't get it. He wouldn't ask, how do you know you put that on himself? I don't understand.
Carl, I was just playing devil's advocate. Oh.
And now introducing Cancelled Cattle's newest product, Soy Boy Green.
Soy Boy Green, that is funny, clever, and original. Have not heard that one at all before. Very good. Keep it up. Based.
Needs your support now more than ever. Believe it or not, the regulators are trying to shut us down for inhumane treatment of livestock. Can you believe they're trying to protect racists? Remember, the less of our beef you buy, the more racist cows get away with it. Cancelled cattle. Cruelty guaranteed.
Okay, so you know, like, Vosh's criticisms of Drake videos? Or J-Reg, I don't know how you say it. That would be the same exact criticism I have of this, because it seems so pointless. It seems like there's no direction at all. Like, I don't understand what I'm supposed to take away from that. I don't even know who's adding me right now. Okay, let's watch this J-Reg video now.
Tanky, did you hear? There's riots in the streets! Come on! We gotta save the minorities!
You cannot rush to action so quickly without first...
Well, I don't think that's why anyone's really, like, going there, like, we gotta save the minorities. I don't think that's why, like, the white people are going. I guess they're like, hey, we gotta support this cause because it's kind of messed up that certain people are being discriminated against, but okay.
Thinking about its consequences and...
What do you mean? We gotta act now! I wanna hit a cop!
It's past your bed.
Yeah, I also don't think that's why most people are going out there, because actually, I don't know if you know this, but most people aren't hitting cops. It's actually the cops are hitting the people. I don't know if you've seen the protest or not.
And besides, you're not going anywhere until you read Lenin's State and Revolution.
Fuck the state, Tanky!
As much as I don't like tankies or Marxist-Leninists, I'm just kidding, I like Marxist-Leninists, they're okay. I don't know any who are just like, read State and Revolution by Lenin, but then again, I hate Twitter, so I try and avoid it, but also I don't talk to many Marxist-Leninists or tankies.
Revolution!
You cannot read half a book, Anarchidi. You must read the full book, and then you must read it again. And again.
Please, Tanky. All my friends are going.
Alright. Just this once, and I'm coming with you.
Yay! You're the best, commie.
Hey, you guys aren't going to the race war without me, are you?
We did it, Tanky! We saved the city!
That was pretty fun.
It's not even a race war. It's... Okay, if addressing racism is a race war. Okay.
Can we burn down another McDonald's?
I don't think that's why anyone's doing it. I don't think anyone's just like, yay, burning down shit. Yay, that's fun. Obviously, there's some people, but that sounds like a very minute amount. Wow, more Drake stuff. I don't want to watch this. Pro-life, anti-euthanism slam poetry. So basically what Drake is saying is that they're pro-state-enforced pregnancy and they're fine with a parasite that you didn't potentially consent to living on your body, because just because you consent to sex doesn't mean that you consent to having a baby. Right? You suggested something? I'll watch it in a second. But yeah, I don't want to watch no slam poetry, because that means that there's not going to be any arguments posed. It's just going to be a bunch of one-liners that sound snappy. But yeah, there's not going to be anything that I can really respond to. Oh, I forgot to put my React Anderson stuff up. I would watch that woke but I'm not gonna because it looks like it's gonna be too long. It's like 20 or 30 minutes. 1 second. I'll be right back, y'all. My dog is barking. Alright, I'm back. My apologies. Okay. Don't watch video other than the news? Okay. Pump sent this video. Let's watch this video that Pump sent. Fred Hampton on revolution and racism. Sounds based. Let's find out.
I'm the deputy chairman of the state of Illinois Black Panther Party, Fred Hampton. And a lot of people don't understand the Black Panther Party's relationship with white mother country radicals. A lot of people don't even understand that word that Eric uses a lot. What we're saying is that there are white people in the mother country that are for the same types of things that we are for stimulating revolution in the mother country. And we said that we'll work with anybody and form coalition with anybody that has revolution on their mind. We're not a racist organization because we understand that racism is an excuse used for capitalism. And we know that racism is just
true and based.
It's a byproduct of capitalism. Everything would be all right if everything was put back in the hands of the people. And we're going to have to put it back in the hands of the people. Everybody in the state of Illinois is going to have to be involved or even around the revolution because we're going to have one. We're going to have to do more than talk. We're going to have to do more than listen. We're going to even have to do more than learn. We're going to have to start practicing, and that's very hard. We're going to have to start learning, and you learn through practice. We got to start making mistakes, and you learn through making mistakes. We got to start getting out there with the people. And a lot of times we think we're better than the people. That's insult, and that's criminal. Think you're better than the people. We got to get together and learn where it's at. It's going to take a lot of hard work. But for children is something else. You ought to dig on it. Every sister in this audience. Every sister in this audience. Ought to get themselves together and come on down and help us with the children program. Y'all come down and help feed the children in the morning. We have breakfast for children because we teach the people through practice, through observation and participation, that people can be fed free. That's people thing. Socialism is the people. You're afraid of yourself. If you're afraid of socialism, you're afraid of yourself. We know they have our pictures, we know they're looking for us, we know they want us, but we still say that even though we couldn't be in a sense, as far as this physical goal on the mountaintop, we in the Black Panther Party because of our dedication and understanding what's in the valley, knowing that the people in the valley, knowing that we originally came from the valley, knowing that our flag is the same flag as the people in the valley, knowing that our enemy is on the mountaintop, our friends in the valley, we say even though it's nice to be on the mountaintop, we're going back to the valley. I be in office every day. I be in street propagandizing every day. I be working with everybody every day. I be teaching that solidarity is the thing. The end of a complete White House imperialism is the thing. So if you're going to be thinking about me, that's what Ronnie would be teaching. If you're going to be thinking about us, all we say is ain't no thing about going nowhere, getting killed. All we want to know is that you're doing what we'd be doing if we were here. And you got to do that. You can't do it unless you believe that you can do it. In the spirit of liberation, we understand that they want everybody in the party in jail. And we know that we try to figure out and separate and divide who should go and who shouldn't go. We spend more time doing that than working for the people. So the quick solution, the speedy one, nobody go. Nobody go. We all stay right here. With the people. Because we know the people. Okay, you put your hand down now. We say all power to all people. We say white power to white people. Brown power to brown people. Yellow power to yellow people. Black power to black people. X power to those that we left out. We say Panther power to the Vanguard Party. When you leave here saying last week, before you go to bed, next time I am a revolutionary. Make that the last word. In case you don't wake up, then somebody might believe it and you might, end up in
I don't know much about Fred Hampton. He's not a separationist, is he?
What they call it, revolutionary happy hunting ground. Say that, but I am a revolutionary. Say it when you're going out. Everybody wants people to leave. Okay, we're going to say it while we're going out. Hey, we just started a thing called Free Fred. Don't that sound nice? Hey, let's do that. Free Fred. Free Fred. Free Fred. Free Fred. Hey, I ain't even in jail yet.
Did I see your suggestion? I have not seen your suggestion yet. Give me 1 minute. There's still some other stuff that I gotta look at. Let's see. Hold on. How long is it? This one's 15 minutes. Hold on. 15 minutes. That's kind of long. Okay. And Woke, he told me not to watch the stuff other than the news stuff. So the class warfare one and the Donald Trump one. Oh gosh. Okay. 1 second. We're not gonna watch. Hold on. Let's see what it is.
Now we're going to turn to a.
Yeah, I don't want to watch this 15-minute video on stream. Yeah. Fred is cool? Okay, I'll take your word for it. I don't know much about them, so. Okay, so Woke wants me to watch this one. Oh, this is 11 minutes. Okay, but we can watch this. Lemons are so gross, though. Messed up. You know what else is gross? Zoomers. You know what else is even grosser? Nations. Fred Hampton believed in solidarity and creating a unified proletarian movement of all races. By no means was he separationist. That is based then. Chris Gillian, thank you. Fred Hampton is based. Alright, let's. Woke, do you want me to watch this class warfare one that you sent? Or no? I see that you're in chat. If you want to. Alright, we'll watch it on 2x speed because it's kind of long.
No! I applaud you. I guess tonight the multi-talented Anne Hathaway, very pleased about that. But first, there's an ongoing argument in this very country about how best to close the enormous deficit that we have incurred. The Republicans have proposed doing it entirely through spending cuts, whereas the Democrats have bravely fought back, insisting we do it almost entirely through spending cuts. Well, this week, bizarrely uneccentric billionaire Warren Buffett entered the fray.
The billionaire says, while most Americans struggle to make ends meet, we mega-rich continue to get our extraordinary tax breaks. My friends and I have been coddled long enough.
I pay a lower tax rate on much of my income than my cleaning lady does. Well, to be fair, Warren Buffett's cleaning lady is also a billionaire. Warren Buffett's
Probably true.
Treaties on the advantages the super wealthy currently enjoy at the hands of the tax code. Or, to put that another way,
Up next tonight, Warren Buffett, class warfare. More class warfare from an affable billionaire who should stop assuming the rich are all billionaires.
Warren Buffett wrote an op-ed. Completely a socialist.
Stop assuming the rich are all billionaires. Asking for more taxes on rich people. Socialism. Based and true.
Is Warren Buffett a
That's it. That's all there is to socialism. Asking for more taxes.
Clooney always banging different broads. What a career. So closing a few corporate tax loopholes and returning the top marginal tax rate to the 90s economic boom time levels is class warfare. And if there's one thing the rich have learned, it's that class warfare is hell.
He invoked the corporate jet class. So that's a whole new category of people to demonize, right?
Soak the rich, it's their fault. Barack Obama's tax on these evil, disgusting corporate jet owners.
Demonizing the rich as evil, as lazy, as inheritors of their wealth.
Dude, true. I never knew Fox News was this based. Maybe I should give him a watch.
It's disappointing. It's class warfare, and it's the kind of language that you expect from a leader of a third world country, not the president of the United States.
Isn't this copyright? Yeah, it probably is. We won't watch it anymore. Let's hope we don't get a strike. You raise a good point. Let's hope that was not. Gosh, if we get struck, I'm gonna stop demonizing the rich. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. All right, let's look at this.
We've just had to run about a block as police moved in. We've been fired at with rubber bullets. My cameraman had. Yeah, so tear gas was used and rubber bullets, I believe, outside the front of the White House so that we could get Trump out here. Apparently holding the Bible upside down, it looks like. What's your thoughts right now?
for a photo op in front of the White House. That is very phenomenal. Thank you, Slowwoke, for sending that in. I love seeing Orange Man be bad. You just love to see it. Oh. Whoops. I accidentally opened something. Okay. Golly, I hate reacting to Twitter videos, but no. Zoomer Nation is not a Fuentes outlet. Zoomer Nation is a leftist. She makes good videos. You should go check them out. I'm not gonna watch this video. It's just De Blasio getting booed. So nothing too special. Let's see. Oh my god. Alright, I'll show this video. Alright. We'll turn off the audio though. But look, it's Candace Owen. She was under the mask. It was her. This is obviously real. There's no way that could be faked. In a video game. Just kidding. That's not real. I don't know. Don't sue me. Oh yeah, I watched this one of this guy here. You missed the shitting on the video? Yeah, dude, the message is so weird. I don't understand it. I feel like the message that one video that you sent in is like, well, these people aren't like really racist, but these people are like, these liberals are like sort of putting that label on them, right? Why does everyone think you're a groiper? I don't think people think you're a groiper. I think they mixed up your name for someone else who is a groiper, I guess. Let's watch this. I already saw this on Twitter.
Yes. Under normal circumstances, it does require a warrant. Under exigent circumstances, a warrant is not needed.
Exigent circumstances requires what? A full description.
Okay.
All you guys had was a Hispanic male. You had no clothes on. You had no kind of clothes. And exigent circumstance, it requires a full description.
Okay. I'm here to discuss with you. I'm not here to get yelling in a yelling match.
Yeah, because they know.
If you weren't here to get yelling in a yelling match, then you probably shouldn't have busted down the man's door and not knowing what you're actually supposed to do, or if you're actually allowed to do that, but okay.
Somebody just draw down on you with AR-15s. So I understand why you're so calm, cool, and collected. It's just my house. I live here. Y'all just busted my door in and drew AR-15s on me for doing nothing more than washing my dog. I just got out of class. Now look at my front door. And you gonna sit here and tell me to calm down? I need names and badge numbers. I don't want to hear nothing else. I need names and badge numbers. That's it.
Damn right. Okay, one more thing before we get to your video, Rourke, so I hope you're here.
Talked to one of the officers down here in charge. He said...
Okay, hold on. Okay, it's a short video.
You know, I talked to one of the officers down here in charge. He said, we lost Macy's. They were trying to protect it. We lost it. And they lost Macy's. Macy's has been destroyed.
Damn, dude. No. Dude, that just ruined my mood. Macy's was destroyed, dude. We lost Macy's, dude. Am I just supposed to sit here and continue? Okay, next charity stream is to rebuild Macy's. speedrunning Minecraft, and we're gonna do a charity stream to rebuild this Macy's, dude, because we fucking lost Macy's. That's so messed up. I can't believe. Is this supposed to be about justice, or is this supposed to be about injustice? Because at this point, this is just messed up, man. Nah, I'm just fucking with you. Anyways, let's watch Rourke's video. Hold on, Rourke. We're gonna pull it up right now. Also, by the end, God, words. Why are words so hard? I just said by the anyway, but I was gonna say anyway. By the way, if you aren't subbed, please subscribe and turn on post notifications. If you can share up the stream, if you're already subbed, that would be more than wonderful. And all my social media links are down in the description below. So if you aren't in the Discord, if you don't follow me on Twitter, go ahead and do that, please. I would very much so be appreciated, or be appreciative. Words are hard, and I hate them. I hate using them. They make me feel bad. Now, we're going to watch this video, which I don't know who Maoist Rebel News is, and I don't know who Anarcho Pack is, but we're going to find out, I assume.
Okay. If you do watch me, and you know so far, I haven't said anything on the transgender issue. I've made one or two videos on incidences of questions over the transgender issue, but never have actually taken a position on transgenderism. And obviously, I understand, given the position that I have within the YouTube community, I obviously do have to take a side, and I do have to say what it is that I really think.
Since making this video,
just get to it, bruh. How are you gonna prolong so long?
Rebel News has made his position on.
Hey, you heard that? Prolong so long? That's kind of base. Oh god, not Jason Unruh. Is that Jason Unruh? Unruhu? Okay, that makes sense, because I did hear that Jason Unruhu is a transphobe. I don't know if that's true. I don't know anything about Jason. I suppose we're going to find out from this video, though.
On trans people clear by repeatedly and deliberately misgendering me. When I identified as agender, he wrote on Twitter in September 2017 that I'm, quote, a white, upper-middle-class male without actual oppression, leeching off the third world, pretending not to.
Yeah, that's pretty transphobic. Okay.
Responded to this by saying, quote, imagine being a totalitarian who misgenders a mentally ill abuse survivor whose greatest achievement in life was not committing suicide. I must have imagined planning my suicide when I was 11 because of daily physical and emotional abuse at school and home. I must have imagined spending most of my childhood covered in bruises and not eating for fear my food would be destroyed by other children. I forget that, as a first worlder, I can't possibly have experienced any oppression. Thank you for correcting my memory, nice internet Maoist. He responded to this by saying, quote, watching the Anarcho Pack pity party is pretty stellar. When you call him out on his class privilege, he actually thinks his personal problems are the basis for class oppression. That's the postmodernist disease for you. His childhood sucked, assuming I believe.
Wait, like... So, because... What else are you gonna... What else are you gonna use as a guideline for whether you're oppressed or not if it's not your personal experiences / the problems you face personally? That's that postmodernist disease for you. Jason Unruh, whatever Unruh, doesn't know what postmodernism is. It's quite clear.
Believe him, so therefore the global class divide in wealth doesn't exist, or that he and all the other first world people live off third world exploitation. Wait until you have to actually get a job and live like an adult. On Facebook, he repeated these claims and said that I have, quote, the special snowflake victim complex, which first worldists have. For some reason, Jason is incapable of understanding what he himself said to me, let alone what I said in response. He said that I was a man who had not suffered oppression. I responded by saying that I'm not a man and have suffered extreme forms of interpersonal, emotional and physical abuse. At no point have I ever denied that I'm lower middle class and from England, nor have I ever said that the abuse I experienced as a child means that I don't in many ways materially benefit from the exploitation of people in the third world, such as my access to cheap electronics and clothing. All I said was that Jason was wrong to say I had not suffered oppression and that I was a man. In January 2018, I came out on YouTube as a trans woman. Upon being linked to my video on how I've been suicidal since I was 11, which was made after I came out, Jason responded by saying, quote, I don't respect his right to live, why would I respect any other aspect about him? From the fact that Jason does not respect my right to live, it follows that, if he is consistent, he thinks that it's morally permissible for people to deprive me of my right to life by murdering me. It could also be argued that Jason, if he is consistent, wants to murder me himself, since to not respect another person's right to live, in practice, is to deprive them of their life. Although I doubt that Jason is himself aware of what logically follows from his remark. Jason has never apologised for saying this, or said that he was wrong to say it. I therefore assume that he stands by these remarks and continues to not respect my right to life. Jason not only did not apologise, but continued to misgender me. In February, he wrote on Facebook that, quote, I just watched an Anarcho Pack attacking Finbol video, typical anarchist tribe. The video basically says that authoritarianism is wrong because of freedom. He, like them, makes the argument against authoritarianism by offering what doesn't work, has never worked, will never work. There's nothing new here. This is why he refuses to debate me. He's scared. Once again, Jason has demonstrated his remarkable ability to not understand what has been said. In my response to the Finnish Bolshevik, I did not argue that authoritarianism is wrong because of freedom. Instead, I explained in detail how Finbol had misrepresented Bakunin's views on freedom and ignored that Bakunin advocated the collective ownership of the means of production and thought the welfare of people was important. In March, Jason made a video in which he said that,
okay, Black Diamond, I'm going to put the same thing to you that I put to Black Red Guard. Put up for a debate or shut up. Stop talking shit like a little punk hiding behind the internet. Step up for an honest, principled debate or shut your ignorant mouth.
Damn, but you won't debate anarcho-pack? That's kind of messed up. Not about it. Jason Unruh, not about it.
And that's all I got to say to you. But I know that you like Black Red Guard, like ZZ, like anarcho-pack, or whatever he's calling himself now. You're
Whoa, that's misgendering. Uncool. Uncool.
punk, and you won't step up. So do us a favor and just shut your ignorant mouth, because you don't know what you're talking about.
when I responded to this challenge by saying that I will not debate Jason, he made a post on Twitter in which he again misgendered me and said that, quote, id-pol postmodernism is the worst cancer there is on the left.
Id-pol postmodernism, okay. You don't understand postmodernism.
For some reason, Jason likes to accuse an analytic philosopher of being a postmodernist. In May, I released a video in which I...
Tankies are not comrades. You are correct, Chris, but don't mix up tankies with Marxist-Leninists. While there are Marxist-Leninists that can be tankies, or they claim to be Marxist-Leninist at least, most Marxist-Leninists are good.
Systematically demonstrated that Jason had inaccurately portrayed Marx's views on socialism and communism during his debate with Muke. Jason responded to this with the following video in which he again misgenders me.
That's messed up. First of all, you're gonna get me copyrighted for the music. That's messed up. Seems like Jason Unruh, whatever, it is a transphobe from what I'm seeing in this video, and that's just... I don't know how you can claim to be a leftist. You're like, yeah, egalitarianism, but those people who are trans, blah, them, they bad. Like, fuck you, dude. What the fuck are you, like that's antithetical to your values. Or at least your claimed values, but whatever. Alright. Let's skip past the music part. "20 minutes of misrepresenting what I said is not worth responding to, and Quebec is just mad. I called..." I'm not going to say that because that's misgendering. Not going to say that because that's misgendering. "Identity politics, something that all Marxists should do." You can call out identity politics for being not being intersectional, right? Because not intersectional identity politics typically is bad, but it's contextual. Sometimes identity politics don't necessarily need to be intersectional. It's complicated. It really depends. But you don't need to misgender the person. Like, you don't have to be an asshole to make your argument or your point.
Jason has never explained how I misrepresented his position, and I think there is an obvious reason why. I didn't misrepresent him. I quoted him at length and even reconstructed his views into a logically valid argument. If Jason could explain how I misrepresented him, then he would do so, as it would be an easy way to score points and make me look bad. In reality, Jason is an intellectual coward who is unable to publicly admit that he was wrong and that I, a trans woman he has repeatedly misgendered.
Jason Unruh 2, transphobic boogaloo. That, from what I am seeing in this video, seems to be the case, Chris. So, yes.
And bullied on the internet showed him to be wrong. Jason is ultimately just a transphobic totalitarian bully who likes to roleplay at being a revolutionary. I wasn't sure how to end this video, but then Jason uploaded the following video, and I knew what had to be done.
Many of you might remember the follow companion mod that I made last year that didn't work and was a complete abysmal failure. Well, now I have managed to finish it, and it actually works. I'm going to give you 1 week to download the mod, take the NPC, and kill it in some really creative way. And if you
what is this?
It's going to get you another $20 Steam gift card. So here's how you enter the contest. You make a video, you upload it.
What is MRN?
It's YouTube or Twitter, doesn't really matter. YouTube is probably better. And then send it to me on Twitter with the hashtag #KillJasonUnruh.
Whoa! In a video game.
Or contest. Kill Jason Unruh.
In a video game.
So that one, send it to me on Twitter. I will collect them all up, and I will show the best top 3, and the winner will receive a $20 Steam gift card. Please enter the contest. Kill my ass in the most creative way you can think of.
In a video game. Dude, what is this dude trying to get me demonetized? What's up with this?
Keep watching, and here's the gameplay footage. It's all ogre, man.
In a video game. Just making sure. It's actually in a video game.
Bring it on, bitch tits.
Well, shit, it's actually... Oh my god, okay. Okay. Alright, it's almost done. So yes, it was actually in a video game. We literally just watched it. Okay, YouTube, don't get mad.
If you like this video, please follow me on Twitter and support me on Patreon so I can pay for my PhD. Have a nice day, everyone.
Alright, that person seems pretty cool. I won't give them a sub yet because I don't know anything about them. And this video was from 2 years ago, but they seem pretty cool, and I support them. It seems like Jason Unruh, or whatever their name is, they seem kind of messed up. But that's all we have for viewer react, or viewer requests, reacting to viewer requests. No one else has sent anything in, it looks like, but you know what time it is? What? It just said I had a ping in... Okay, I guess I didn't have a ping in general, but it's actually time now for viewer call-in. So if anyone in chat wants to do viewer call-in, let me know. Enter code PACK is based AF. That is dope. I recommend that I watch them then and find out so I can see whether or not I should subscribe. But they seem pretty cool from the video I watched. Anarcho Pack is one of the OG anarchist creators. She made videos when only LSR was. I don't know who LSR was, but I don't know. I miss Batco. Batco's one of the OGs. But yes, does anyone want to do viewer call-ins? Because it's about that time. Libertarian Socialist Rants. Don't know who that is, but they're probably based. Not sure though. Sounds based. It's okay if no one wants to do call-ins. I'm fine with ending the stream early. We've streamed for an hour, but obviously I have time if anyone wants to do call-ins. I'll say in Discord. I guess now is another time to self-promote. If any of you aren't subbed, please subscribe and turn on post notifications. It helps a lot. If you turn on post notifications, you will never miss a time where I am live streaming, or if a video goes up, you'll always be notified. And then also my other social medias are just linked in the description down below if you want to join in. Oh, and I totally forgot earlier what I wanted to do. Sleep, I don't know if you're still here, but shout out to Sleep for being the first Patreon subscriber. It means a lot. Thank you. I'm very appreciative. So yeah, I'm very happy that you did that. You don't need to, but it means a lot to me. And you have, again, I said this to you before, but you've inspired a whole new motivation in me. I'm going to try and stream a lot more and make a lot more videos, hopefully higher quality. But like the worst thing right now that I've noticed about my videos / streams is the audio quality. And what I'm trying to do to fix that is I'm going to get some sound absorbing foam panels, which I'm going to try and set so that there's less echo and like less like fan noise. Would you like to talk about the policies that are being proposed to combat police brutality? I don't know much about the policies that are being proposed, but if you want to come in and educate me, then you can. The notification stuff is a myth. It doesn't work. Actually, that's not true. You have to click the bell, and then you have to click again on the bell, I think, to click all notifications, right? Rather than sometimes. It's so weird. You have to have, like, so the bell can't just be gray. The bell has to have, like, the ringing things on the outside. HMU, I have 24 square feet laying around. I would have done that, but I already ordered it, so I don't need to. But thank you very much for the offer. That means a lot. I'm glad that I have people supporting me. I have 12. I got 12 squares. I'm pretty sure a 12 pack. It was like, it wasn't very much. It was like $20 something, which is kind of a bit out of pocket, but it happens. You've done that on all channels. Make sure that you have like notifications on for YouTube on though. You might not have those on. But yeah, I'm gonna need help knowing how to set up these sound absorbing foams because I don't know how you necessarily set up. Most of the times I see the way people set them up is like sort of above their monitors, like on the wall above their monitors. I don't know. I might end up moving my PC too because I think the fan or that like weird like air draft audio that's being picked up, I think it might be my PC. Either that or it's my vent, which I'm gonna put some sound absorbing foam panels next to that vent just to make sure, because that vent gets really loud, especially in the summer. It doesn't work. Oh gosh, I don't know. T-pins? What's T-pins? Chris, are you still here? Are you trying to join the Discord? Also, how do y'all think of the new thumbnail? As I made this thumbnail and I threw it up on some of my old videos, some of my reaction videos. Yeah, I know you are. I know you are, Chris. Just join whenever. Join the queue. Audio isn't a big issue. I know it's not bad, but it's like there's like you'll notice like when I'm talking, there's like this air, like you can hear some sort of fan or something. All right, we got our first call in. Probably only call in, it looks like, but we'll see. You love it? It reminds you of Miami. That's cool. All right, what's up?
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, Lemma. How's it going, dude?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
Pretty well. You know, just trying to survive the virus and stuff like that.
Oh, I totally feel you. I think we're gonna have to close down again.
Yeah, my state is opening up, so I expect it to be a uptick in cases pretty soon.
Mm-hmm. Like
which is gonna be
states are like I don't know any states that are still closed down. I know most of them are starting to open up, and then there's obviously like the quarantine protests happening, and then there's all these protests happening now. It's gonna spread.
Yeah, I went to one of them, but I didn't stay for too long because yeah, the police look like the police in Fallout 4, like actually like armed to the teeth, which is insane.
I totally feel you. I want to go, but I'm so scared because like they're firing off like rubber bullets and tear gas. It's like yeah, it's really scary out there. Like I don't want to go blind. You know what I'm saying? Because like there's people going blind over that shit.
When I went to the one that I went, I was there for like 2 hours. I think my section didn't get like tear gas, but we got like close, so I could smell the gas, right? And it just even just like inhaling it was like tough. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you. Also, like, oh my god, they're just beating the shit out of people too. Like the cops, they're just doing that. Like, it scares me. I want to go, but I probably will end up going, but I don't know. We'll have to see.
Yeah, it's just like I think the cops are going mask off now. I think like okay, they found us out that we don't care.
Yeah, but
we knew for a while, but we're taking action now. You know,
that's so head ass because it's like, dude, these cops like it's like these protests are about police brutality, and these cops are just beating the shit out of everyone. It's like you couldn't have proved our point more.
Exactly.
All right, but
it's so weird, honestly.
Yeah, hit me with what you got.
Yeah, let's see if I can find it. There was a certain post I saw that was giving the. Where is it? Did Fascist Matchy put it up? I forgot. Basically, like, there's a movement going on right now. I forgot where it is. I'm trying to look for it because I didn't think I would have to talk about this with anybody. Basically, they're trying to like defund the police and try to change like the methods of how they conduct searches and stops and how to make sure that their etiquette is more like de-escalation rather than just like full-on force, because I think that's what we're used to at the moment.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely seems how they're trained, because like I mean like just look at the protest.
It's funny actually because like my cousin she was protesting down in Florida, and the cops like literally like she sent me a video, and she was just walking, you know, peacefully protesting, and for no reason the cops just like shoot like a massive like 6 tear gas bombs into the middle of the crowd, trying to disperse everything. And like it wasn't during curfew. It was like 12 in like p.m. So I'm not sure what the justification is for that.
The thing is like they like deem it as like a like violent protest or like a riot or whatever. I'm pretty sure they're allowed to like disperse the crowd any way possible. So if like a window gets broke or some shit like that, like a business is burning, they can do whatever. Did that happen at all anywhere in Florida? I imagine.
I saw. I mean, at least not in the Miami one, but it's possible that the cops, you know, they just didn't care and just had somebody. I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but it's possible that there could have been like an inside infiltrator who like threw a sock at somebody and like, oh, that's justification enough to go in and, you know.
Oh well, yeah, of course they do that all the time. Were you here earlier in the stream when I was talking about like how the businesses they used to pay people to burn down their businesses?
Yes,
because they have them overinsured. Yeah, like the cops do
Right,
that all the
exactly.
time. They'll throw in like one of their guys and they're like, hey, just break window or something. We'll fucking we'll end the protest right there.
Unfortunately, my family seems to be kind of split on the issue. Like all of them seem to agree that yes, it was a excessive use of force. Some of them are still saying like cringe things like, you know, all lives matter, and I try to like explain like, hey, you know, here's why I shouldn't say that. Here's why like it doesn't make sense to say that. It's not gonna like that's not actually appropriate in this. But they're like,
here's the thing.
I don't know. Here we go.
The thing is like,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no worries. Just send it over. I'll look at it.
No,
the
no.
thing.
Go ahead.
The thing is that like I don't know if that would be the best way to convince those kind of people, like the people who are saying like all lives matter and all that shit. Like just tell them like, yo, this protest is addressing that. It's about police brutality at large, right?
Exactly.
Like because all those people they'll be like, well, white people die more from the police, blah 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 blah. It's like, hey, you're not making a good point. We're trying to say that's a bad thing.
Exactly.
You're either on the side that's a bad thing, or you're on the side that it's okay.
Right.
And
It's like this isn't really a time to like, you know, enlighten centrists at the moment. You know.
Yeah.
Probably not the best time. Okay. Okay. I found the post. It's not on like online. Well, it's on Instagram, but I can send you like the website to help like in your county, wherever you may be. If you have a local government, to send them this demand and like call for changes essentially. So if I may, there are 8 policies that we're trying to propose to the government to change police etiquette, stuff like that. So the first one would be to ban chokeholds and strongholds, or strangleholds actually. Yeah, yeah.
Are those legal?
You know that. Generally yes, but it could be changed out of to be like taken out of a like basic like police training, or at least not in like general situations, you know, because like they use it way too much on like just like stops, which makes no sense.
Okay, all right.
So next one would be to require de-escalation. That's kind of broad, obviously, but the general sentiment is like, hey, don't take out your gun, try to talk and make sure things are resolved peacefully. The next one is to require a warning before shooting. A lot of shootings are just the cops take out their gun and boom, there you go. Not even a warning or anything.
Yeah.
Exhaust all alternatives before shooting. Duty to intervene. Ban shooting at moving vehicles. Sorry. Establish use of force continually, and require all force to be reported. So it shows
require all force to be what? Recording?
Report.
Sorry, I can't. You cut out at the end.
Oh, sorry.
You cut out again. I don't know why.
Oh my god. 1 second.
I think it might be like the noise gate.
Hello?
Hi.
Okay, good. Yeah, require all police force to be reported to make sure that if a police officer does use force, they have to report why they did it, and like because right now there's no standard or anything. Like an officer can just use force and they don't have to give a like explanation why other than in the police report, which really doesn't help because the only justification they would have is feeling threatened. But that's not really something that I think would be that's enough justification to like use force. So it's been shown actually that with these policies, police violence can be reduced by 72%.
That's a shit ton.
Here, I can link the website if you want.
Yeah, go ahead.
Or at least for the action. It's by campaigns. It's trying to be pushed by senators currently. The site is called 8can'twait.org. So that's the number 8can'twait.org.
8can'twait.
I'll put it. I'll put it in general right now.
All right, cool.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll look into that.
To be honest, I just really want the police to change because the entire slogan they have is what? To protect and serve. I mean, they protecting and serving at the moment.
Yeah, it's weird. Like what the cops do, it's like kind of like the strategy. So, do you know like the strategy that the countries used to have back in the Cold War? Or wait, no. I don't think it's actually. I think it's the nuclear strategy now. It's escalate to de-escalate, right?
Right.
So, what like the strategy is to do now is like, if something were to like the tensions were to rise so much that like it were to go nuclear, like a country would nuke one of the other countries, whatever country they'd go to conflict to, but they wouldn't nuke like one of their like LAs, right? Or like New York's. Like they'd nuke a place that doesn't matter as much to that country, right? And then they do that in hopes that would lead to de-escalation rather than like actually escalating a nuclear war. It probably wouldn't work, but that's kind of like the same thing with the police. Like they try to escalate to de-escalate, and it just doesn't work at all.
Right.
Like they'll try to escalate with the protest in order to get them out because they think that's like actually de-escalating, like because the conflict would be reduced, but obviously it just kind of doesn't work at all.
Right. It's sort of like counterintuitive in a way.
Yeah, it's
or counterproductive actually. Sorry.
Well, both. It's pretty counterintuitive too, because it's like, okay, let's escalate the situation by firing all these tear gases and shooting off all these rubber bullets because that's going to lead to more de-escalation. Which, I mean, like, in a way, technically, it does. Like, technically, the protesters typically disperse, but also, like, there's also, like, the rise in tensions because a lot of people, like, start breaking shit and burning shit after that. I don't know.
Right.
It's hard to... It's obviously not working, though.
Right. Do you have, like, any, like, opinion on the suggestion that, like, Antifa is, like, messing up for everybody? Like, they're the ones causing the looting and like the rioting?
That shit pisses me off so much.
Yeah.
I saw a video of peaceful protesters turning in a guy who was like pickaxing like fucking concrete, and that shit pissed me off so much. It's like, it's just so annoying. It's like they're not doing anything to like mess up your movement. You don't like, there's like, do you want more people to participate in your movement and be helpful, or do you want less people to? Like, because at the point where you're turning in people, it's kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of like white moderate vibes too, because it's like
sorta, yeah,
it's sort of like, well, blah blah blah, we have to be peaceful, blah blah blah. Like, I know that we're being treated unjustly, but order matters more. And it's like, well, okay.
The one problem I have though is that it seems like some of Antifa, maybe not like a big part, but like a small percentage could be like unironic, like LARPers, you know, who are trying to, yeah, dude, let's fuck the system, and then they end up causing more harm than good.
Yeah, that's definitely a possibility, but my worry wouldn't be more so about like Antifa or like white anarchist or whatever people are trying to make it out to be. My worry would be more so about the white supremacists who are trying to hijack the movement and who are trying to be like create a race war, because there's been stuff going around on that. Like a lot of white supremacists and alt-righters are going out trying to start a race war.
Like the Proud Boys?
I don't know about the Proud Boys specifically, but like Nick Fuentes was out there. I don't know if you saw the broadcast where he was chanting Groyper on live
I don't watch Nick Fuentes.
I don't. No. I'm talking about like there's a video Zoomer Nation sent it to me of Nick Fuentes. Like it was like a news, like live news, right? Nick Fuentes was there chanting Groiper, right? Like it was just a news channel. Yeah, like it's the thing that the alt-right's trying to do. They're trying to make a race war.
Nick
It's not gonna work.
Is like actually like such a coward. Honestly,
I don't know anything about Nick Fuentes really, other than like he's a fucking white supremacist or neo-Nazi, whatever.
Yeah, you know, he tries to weasel the definition of white so he can fit in there because he also has you know, he's like I think a third Mexican. I know his grandfather.
He's like I think he's a quarter. He's like Latino or Hispanic or something.
Yeah. And you know, if you want to like I'm Hispanic as well, and I don't consider myself white, even though I am like white passing. But like for him to call himself like white and to weasel his way into like the like in his version of like white nationalism, it's just kind of funny. It's like a weird form of like cope. It's like, no, I am pure.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Oh shit. Okay, I promise you all that's not what it sounded like. That what I'm watching is hold on, I'll show you. I clicked on Mr. Obvious's page. Okay. And it sounded like okay, see, that's what that noise was. That's what that noise is, okay? I promise it wasn't anything else.
I've never seen Mr. Obvious in my life.
Me neither, but I guess I'm gonna find out what
well, actually, I saw one video. It was about the feeling blue thing. Wait, no, was that him or no? Who was that?
I don't know, but Sleep says Caitlin Bennett was apparently out there too at the rallies. Doesn't surprise me. Caitlin Bennett is a piece of shit opportunist who just goes out there and tries to agitate people.
And it's too.
Most likely, yeah. Most likely,
it's been confirmed.
Wait, it was confirmed?
Like, there are actual logs. Yeah, there are logs about her. Bosch made a video on it, and it's pretty.
Wait, no. I watched that video. I'm pretty sure. I don't remember the logs, but I remember. Like, are you talking about the tweets?
The Caitlin Bennett.
Yeah, like the Liberty Hangout tweets from that account.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's like it's complex because like apparently like it's not like Caitlin Bennett who uses that account. It's like it's like or she does use it, and it's also her fiance who uses it too. It's multiple people. I don't know.
Well, I mean, yeah, but
she probably is. Though.
I suspect though that she holds most, if not all, the views that her fiance.
I would imagine. Yeah, that's probably the case. But yeah, I think I'm gonna watch this Mr. Obvious video with Cracker. Cracker, are you still here? Such a funny name.
Don't get canceled now.
I'm not gonna.
Cracker.
Don't get demonetized. If I got demonetized from saying Cracker, I would actually be more offended over that than any. I would be more offended over that than any possibility, any potential for anyone to be offended by the word Cracker. Any threshold. People.
Yeah.
Did you see all that drama over that being a slur? On Twitter, Cracker.
What being a
Cracker.
Cracker?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess technically it is a slur.
Yeah, no, I agree. It is
institutional power, but
exactly.
It's just kind of However, though, I wouldn't condone someone being like, "Hey, you can't join a movement, you fucking cracker." I mean, not really cool there, Chief.
Well, yeah, no, I definitely agree. It's a slur.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't ever discriminate people based on race. But it's also a slur that holds no power. So if you just walk up to me and call me a cracker, I'm not going to be offended. I don't think anyone should be, and I think very little people would be.
That's true. Anyway, I'll let you get back to your video. Yeah, I'll just post more information about the movement on in Discord if anyone wants to check it out. And
yeah, shout out your channel too if you want.
Oh, I'm Vira. I just make gaming videos, dumb gaming videos.
Well, you talk about political issues too.
Sometimes, yeah, but right now I'm just doing FIFA, and I'm getting mad because that game is actually trash, but I still love it.
All right, that sounds good.
All right. Thanks, Lemon.
Yep, no problem. Thanks for coming on. I'll see you.
No problem. Take care, man.
You too. Alright, we're gonna watch Cracker. Are you still here, Cracker? If you're here, I will watch this video. If you're not, I'm not gonna. Because I don't want to just, like...
Black Lives...
I don't want to just watch this video to watch it, you feel? Wow, our viewership went down immensely, but you know what? It's not that bad. I don't care. We were at 10 at one point, and that makes me feel good. Okay, I guess we'll watch this. I don't think Cracker's here, but maybe Cracker will come back while we're watching this. Alright, we're good.
Black Lives Matter is militarizing. They plan to start armed cells and are declaring war on the police. Things are getting crazy. Hello, everyone. This is Mr. Obvious, and today on the
Wait, what? Where'd you get this from?
Daily Mail, I've got to show you something very...
Also, like, Black Lives Matter, like, it's, like, more so a movement than, like, an organization.
Very, well, troubling, to say the least. Exclusive. We prepare to stop these murders by any means necessary. Black Lives Matter leader declares war on police. And group is training our people to defend our communities in Black Panther-style armed...
Oh, hold on, 1 second. Okay, well, it looks like something came up, so I'm not gonna watch this video. It doesn't look like Cracker's here anyways, so I'm just gonna end the stream here. Something came up, so yeah. Anyways, we streamed for an hour and 30 minutes. That's good. If you're new, sub, turn on post notifications. All my social medias are in the description down below. Peace. I had a fun stream. See y'all next time. Podcast tomorrow. Be there. Don't miss it. Podcast tomorrow.